Hello, everyone. This is Coach Clayton, and this is my Women's Empowerment interview episode. And today we have Megan as our guest to discuss her amazing journey of overcoming obstacles in her life personally and professionally. Hey, Megan, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, very good. I just want to thank you again for taking the time out of your busy day to chat with me. So thank you, Megan.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. So just to give you an idea and overview of this video podcast, I'm an accountability coach, and I felt like there's a need of a place where women can go each week just to get inspired, to listen to women who are in similar circumstances and to like really plug into something that will give them hope. So thank you again. So now, Megan, your background really intrigued me. Let's dive in. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm a full-time worker and a part-time business person, and a 17-year-old son. Mm-hmm. And he was probably one of my, shall I say, struggles or difficulties in life, because I found out that he had autism when he was about 7. So the last 10 years I've been it and guide, just a general helper for my son to just get through life as best he can. So that's probably one of the most difficult things that I've had to overcome. I was almost single parenting at when I first found out that he was autism spectrum. So I was working full time, so it was really difficult to be juggling those balls. And I just neglected me. I was so busy dealing with all of that. And then my sister died in a car accident, so there was that pressure and trying to support my parents. So I came very, very low on the list of things to do and people to look after. And my health suffered. I gained a lot of weight. And due to that, my joints had already been fairly bad, but they were really, really bad because of the excess weight. I was tired, which made it very hard to look after my child. And I had really bad indigestion. So all in all, it wasn't great. I probably got through the days with Coca-Cola and almond magnums were one of my crutches. So that didn't great. No, so it was a bit of a struggle trying to deal with all of that.
Yeah. So take me back to when your son was 7 years old, and what were some of the warning signs or red flags that he may have autism?
Well, at home, I didn't really notice anything. It was the that he went to who picked it up, and they just pointed out a few things. He just had, it was mainly social skills that he had difficulty with, fitting in with kids, and he didn't have any speech issues, although they did do an assessment and found out that he did have some speech issues, were receptive and expressive. But I mean, I wouldn't have noticed that if they hadn't done the assessment. And started on the very long path of going to a speech therapist, being an occupational therapist who helped with his fine motor skills, gross motor skills. Yeah, so it wasn't something that was really obvious to me. It was just all these little things that other people were pointing out to me.
Okay.
I did notice that he had some sensory issues. So he hated going into crowded cafes and loud noises. You know, the in bathrooms. He was terrified of those because they were just, so there was a lot of noise issues. He didn't really like the vacuum cleaner.
Okay.
So that was noticeable, and I sort of mentioned that to the doctors, and so we went down that avenue and looked into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So tell me, what were the challenges, as you said that you were basically a single mom having to raise him? What were some of the challenges for you personally having to raise him as an autistic child?
To start with, it was quite easy because he went to childcare, and the difficulties really came into notice when he went to school. He was considered naughty, and because they didn't understand his issues. So he was naughty, so they kept sitting him in the naughty corner, which really wasn't doing anything helpful. Since he couldn't express himself very well, he would often use violence to overcome issues with other children. Started getting suspended, and there was one term that he went to school, and I think he probably only did about 4 weeks at school because he'd been suspended the rest of it. And yeah, I mean, you don't overcome an issue by just saying, oh, well, you're not welcome here at school. So that caused problems for me because I worked and I couldn't be at home with my child. So it was very difficult during that time.
So how, if there's a mom in your shoes right now that has a young child that is in the same predicament, what are some of the steps that you can tell them to advocate for their child so that, like you said, the solution isn't just to say, go into the naughty corner or you're not welcome here. What are some of the things that they could do to help advocate for their child?
Yeah, just keep an open communication with the school. I'm finding that schools these days are a lot better. They often have, or you can choose a school that's got a special unit for kids that do have these issues. So it is a lot easier, and as long as you communicate and let them know what the issues are, so also provide reports. So if the speech therapist is saying, well, these are ways that we can help, as long as you give that to the school, and then hopefully they will step up and help you, because I couldn't do anything at school, so it was up to them to do it. In his, I think it was kindergarten through till about year 4, they just totally interested in listening to me, and that it was really old school, really old school sort of ways of teaching. So things are a lot different now. And the, as I said, the support units are really helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for that. Now, I know that you said that you put yourself on the lower level of self-care because you had your son and your sister passed away and you had to take care of your parents. How do you take care of yourself now as far as self-care goes? Do you put yourself up top now intentionally, or how does that go with your self-care?
Yeah, I'm virtually on top now,
Right.
because as they say, you can't pour from an empty cup. So if I'm not healthy and happy, then I mean, no one can be. So that's just what I've got to do. I've got to look after me first. So I do that by nutrition, exercise, and I'm also part of a really supportive community. Yeah. So
Nice.
they're things. Yeah.
Okay, very good. That's nice to hear. Very nice to hear. Yeah, so you're a health and wellness coach.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about how you started that business and what do you do in your business to help others?
Well, I started off with as you have already heard, I was very overweight.
Mhm.
So I joined a body transformation challenge and I did a couple of those and I managed to lose about 19 kilograms. I'm not quite sure what that would be in pounds. I didn't do the math before I came on. Yeah, so and I learned things that, I mean, I thought I ate in a healthy way, but there was so many things that I learned while I was on that challenge. And yeah, so I lost the weight and I now know what to do to continue to eat if I need to or want to. I also used to hate exercising, but now I quite enjoy it. Gives you a feeling of satisfaction. Yeah, so I picked those up out of the challenge and I'm still doing them. And so that's what I clients with.
So give me an idea. I know that you said that there's a few things that you thought that you were eating healthy, but after like joining the challenges, you figured out that this wasn't healthy. Give us a few ideas of healthy, thinking is healthy, but it's not healthy at all.
Sorry, my phone is going a bit flat, so I'm just quickly.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
that I thought were okay, but carbohydrates.
Okay.
I always thought that carbohydrates were really bad. Like, that would help you pack on the weight. Mm-hmm. But in actual fact, so I cut carbs virtually, or I really minimize them. But carbohydrates are really important because they're our energy source. So you need to include those in your diet or nutrition. Yeah, so that's probably the biggest one I learned. What else? Healthy fats. You know how you go to the supermarket and you find the yogurt that's low fat and you think, wow, I'm doing the right thing. But it's not only low fat, but it's also full of sugar. And therefore, you're really sort of defeating the purpose of eating a healthy option. So I now eat Greek yogurt because it's got less sugar and it's got the normal amount of fat because we need our healthy fats.
Now, this is very, very interesting. So carbohydrates and healthy fats. Okay.
Yeah. And of course, you need protein. I probably didn't eat enough protein. Mm-hmm. And all of these things combined give you your best nutrition. I think that because I didn't get enough protein, that that's why my muscles didn't, well, they're not as strong as they could be. So I think a lot of us just focus on the calories and not on what's actually in the food that we're eating.
Oh, I love that. That's very interesting. I am definitely going to keep that in mind, not to focus on the calories, but to focus on what we're actually putting into our bodies. Very interesting, Megan.
I mean, you still need to be, you still need to take notice of how many calories you're eating. You're sitting down to a huge meal that's like 1,800 calories. Well, you've got a problem, because that's way too much to be eating in one meal. Yeah. So when you go out and you eat, let's say McDonald's, and they supersize you and you have large chips instead of the small ones, and you have the Coke and you have a double burger or whatever they're called. Yeah, I mean, that's overload, way too much calorie wise. Well, nutritional value is not very good either.
Okay. So, let me revise that. It is the calories. You do have to look at the calories per setting, but you definitely want to not focus on like low fat or whatever. Like, you want to make sure that the nutrition that you're putting into your body makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Very nice. Okay. So, Megan, how, if someone, let's turn it around.
Okay.
What is the biggest takeaway that you would want to tell the audience as far as inspiring women? What is like one of the biggest takeaways that you want to tell them?
Okay. I just want to let them all know that it's not as hard as it sounds, or it's just simple daily habits that are just continued. I mean, carried over days, and you will get the result. So you do have to be careful of what you're eating and how much, but you also have to just each day work on that, just simple habits, and that's how easy it is. And there's also timing of food that is a factor. So, yeah, you'd be surprised at how many little hidden secrets there are in how to get the best result if you're after a weight transformation. Yeah.
Okay. So, Megan, how will they find you online? Where should they plug into if they want to reach out to you and say, I really want a weight transformation?
Okay, so whether it's a weight transformation, or they want to increase their muscle, or they just need to, because my digestion improved when I changed my nutrition. So that's an absolute bonus. And my energy, I was having afternoon sleeps often, and no more, I don't need those. So when you're fueling your body properly, you feel so much better. But where they can reach me is on Instagram at Megan Wellness Mentor, or they can find me on Facebook at Megan Tajani Wellness Mentor. So they're my two main ones. I don't actually have a website at the moment.
Okay. Well, Megan, I just want to say thank you for spending the time to chat with us. And for all of you all that are watching this is 12 a.m. or probably a little bit past 12 a.m. So she really sacrificed to meet with us. So thanks again, Megan. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.